I wish I could make this kind of thing up, but like, you'll get it in a moment. So I wrote out this whole concept for the video, and then I just decided to pick a card. So the card that I chose wasn't like the one on the top. It wasn't the one that like was sticking out. This one was like, come to me. And the card that I chose was, and the Three of Scrolls is about setting your course. So the description in the book that I use, or in the card deck that I use, when upright, this is a great time to broaden your horizons in both your personal and business lives. Don't limit yourself to only one direction. Your opportunities are greater than just what you see. When you widen your scope, you'll find your way to limitless options and boundless wealth. Now you'll understand once I start the rest of the video and go through what I had written, why I can't make this stuff up. Okay, so today's video is about how we all do this, but how you're stopping yourself, how your limiting beliefs are impacting your horizons. And let's be honest, most of the time, it's not the external factors that are limiting us. It truly is our internal beliefs that are putting parameters and boundaries on what we believe to be possible for ourselves. And obviously there are some external factors that will impact us, and sometimes there are systems and external factors that specifically target a certain group of people. I'm not saying that those are not real and valid and need to be challenged and done away with, but one of my core approaches to life is finding what I have control over and creating and setting up my beliefs and my reality from what I have control over. So there are many things that I don't have control over, but there are a lot of things that I do have control over. And there are a lot of things that you have control over. So this isn't to say that there aren't external challenges, and the example that I'm going to be walking through does set up those external challenges, and I still have choice and power, and there's still a lot that is within my control in this situation. So the limitations that we're going to be talking about and walking through a process for working with are those that are based on our expectations and our experiences, have formed these beliefs around who we are, what we can and can't do, what is and isn't possible for us, and who we are not. So I'm going to use that standard classic example of rich people are bad. I am not a bad person, therefore I can't be rich. Now, yes, our conscious mind looks at that statement and says, what? That's not correct, because it's binary. And our conscious mind is a little bit better at catching binary thought. However, most of our lives, most of our reality is made up of what our unconscious mind has to say about all these things. And our unconscious mind, unfortunately, has a tendency to play a little bit more into the binary, or comes to conclusions in a way that our conscious mind will question. So of course, in this video, we are going to be walking through how to bring these unconscious beliefs and binary thoughts into conscious awareness so that we can challenge them and we can create the life that we actually want to live, not the one that these unconscious, unquestioned thoughts have been creating for us. I also want to point out here, and I'm pretty sure I've touched on this in other videos, that it's not wrong or bad that our unconscious mind, our ego, is holding on to and utilizing these beliefs to keep us safe. It's not wrong that that's what's happening. My bet is that if you are someone who is watching this channel, you're likely somebody who is on this path of consciously creating a life that you truly desire to live and that your soul is calling and pulling you towards. And these unconscious human fears and beliefs aren't helping you to build and create that life. So with that, if you haven't already and you like that kind of thing, click on the subscribe button, notification bell, give the video a thumbs up, share it out with your humans, the whole thing. Anyway, we're going to walk through an example, and I invite you to go back to the February 2022 message for the collective, so like the actual month of February. And we talked about a desire that is kind of in your awareness. And then after that video, I posted a meditation called, I think, the Prism Meditation. I'll link everything down below. And I invite you to go to that, or if there's something new that you're working with, then we'll walk through this process using that new desire that you are working with, but you might have had one from the February video. So with that, let's get into the process. Before we get into the process, I want to say that because these are subconscious beliefs, we'll be peeling them back as layers. So I invite you to approach this as a practice, not as a fix, and have patience with yourself. So now let's get into the process. And I'm going to use a personal example as we walk through this process. So for me, I have recently been struggling, not so recently, been struggling with my home situation, home environment situation, what I call, where I call home. And my partner and I have been looking to purchase a home, and we haven't found one yet. So we are going to walk through this process using that as an example, but again, I invite you to use your own example and to take the time to allow the topic to come for you. And that's where the February message for the collective and the Prism meditation could be really helpful here, is to find the topic that your energy is really being drawn to right now. So surprise, I've already touched on this. The first step is to become aware. Shocker. We can't change what we aren't aware of. And I want to address that. I know we're currently not aware of it, so how can we bring it into awareness? But I want to say that it is quite shocking how quickly and readily these unconscious beliefs will actually bubble up to the surface when you just give yourself some time in quiet to allow them to come, with the intention for them to come, with the prompt for them to come. So the first prompt for your bubbling up of unconscious beliefs is to think about the current situation, the current status of this topic. So for me, the home situation. And when I think about my current status, my current home, the thoughts and beliefs that came up for me were it being good enough. I put up with it. Honestly, I've made it pretty comfortable, pretty cozy. It's known and it's familiar. And I love my neighborhood and I want to stay in my neighborhood, which is a limiting view. It is steering in this single pointed focus of this is the only location. Your next prompt here, when you're looking at the limiting beliefs, is to think about the next step, the change that you're looking to make. And in this situation, the beliefs, stories that came up there were having unrealistic expectations for a home, wanting too much, stories, as well as honestly the reality of the current market where I live. There's also zeitgeist beliefs around the expectations of what it takes to purchase in this neighborhood or in my city. There's past experience. We've been looking for a number of years now. So what makes me think that this time, this year, is going to be any different? And there's also an awareness and an experience of limited inventory and bidding wars on anything that's even remotely close to what we want. Now, the third piece here within this first section of bringing awareness is to take a look and see if there are any patterns or if there's a deeper belief system within those beliefs. And the thing that stood out for me in this situation as I looked and reflected was a belief around an unworthiness of my expectations for the home that I desire. I'm not saying that this process is easy or that you're not going to be confronted, because you might be. You might be confronted with a subconscious belief or a subconscious pattern, but we can't change what we can't see. So bringing it into the light and looking at it will help it to shift and to change. This next piece is where we have power in this situation. We get to challenge this belief. So the question to ask is, what stories hold this belief in my reality? And for me, I know that this belief has a lot to do with how I was raised and my home when I was growing up. Putting up with it, being okay with it being less than perfect, being grateful for what we have. I knew I wanted more. I knew that there was more available, but I also knew the struggle that we existed in. And so I was grateful for having having a stable home. There was a limitation in my gratitude for that home, even though it was far from what I know to want in a home, a physical space. There was also a limitation around being greedy or asking for too much or being selfish and wanting nice things when we were challenged with finances. And then the other story that really truly holds in this space for me right now is this experience that I've had these past few years looking for a home and not finding one, given the current market situation. So I get to see those beliefs, and you get to see those beliefs, and now we get to challenge them. Now we get to choose. And yes, some of it is real, some of it is external to our internal belief system, for sure. But we get to take on our own independence and our own power in this situation, and we get to choose that our reality doesn't get limited by an external factor. And even more than that, our expectations and our desires for our lives and our realities don't even get to be limited by what we currently perceive to be possible. And I'm also going to link the Expand What You're Willing to Receive video. It's an energy video, and it talks about our current awareness of what's possible and how even just that is limiting, because there's so much more available and there's so much more that's possible. But we have to start somewhere, and recognizing our current beliefs and recognizing our desired outcome in this current awareness is somewhere to start. And then we can build and grow on that. But we have to start. So to start, we're going to set up new beliefs. And depending on where you are in the process, and I'll give you some examples here around your convictions and your willingness to believe in something, I'll offer some stepping stone beliefs as well. So these are just sort of like precursor words that allow you to step into a belief before you're fully committed to knowing that it's true for you. So let's wrap up this example. And the beliefs that I am now choosing are that I know that our home is out there. Here's a stepping stone belief. I am willing to believe that our home will become available. I know that when our home becomes available, it will be ours. We will be successful in that process. Here's another stepping stone belief. I choose to believe that this is the year that we will purchase our home. And yes, there are challenges in the market, and I am confident that we will recognize our home and we will be successful in the purchasing process. I am also choosing to believe that we are supported in this home buying process, and I am excited to welcome our family and our friends and to grow our family together and our relationship together in our home. We all have unconscious beliefs. We've all pulled together stories from our experiences, from others in our lives, and their belief systems and their stories and their experiences. We've all had our own personal experiences. And I really hope that this process helps you to bring forth and look at in the light those limiting beliefs that you have so that you are able to move forward and create the life that you and your soul deeply desire and are here to experience. If you are interested in doing this on a deeper dive or doing this in conjunction with someone, you can find the link down in the description to work with me. I offer soul alignment energy readings as well as ongoing soul alignment coaching, and all the information's in the description. As you are well aware of the YouTubes, please do click the subscribe button, notification bell, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your people, and let me know down in the comments how this is going for you and your process, and if this helps to enhance your process at all. And with that, I will see you in the next video.